Alright, next up on the list is number 20, and this goes to Algorithm by My Heart to Fear. This is actually a really good CD. This is their debut on Solid State Records. There's just so many good songs on this album. And I'll let you listen to a couple of my favorites, those being 414 Days and The Witching Hour Part 2. Alright, coming in at number 19 is Between Here and Lost by Love and Death, and this is their debut on Tooth and Nail Records. It has some really awesome songs. The whole album's really good, but I'll let you listen to my couple of my favorites, By the Way and Paralyzed.
I didn't see it fall apart, and everything was so unfair. I had to walk away to get it right. And by the way, I'm doing alright, and you don't know. Gasping for air as you're slipping through my fingers. Don't kiss me goodbye, please don't leave here. I'm dying inside, only use my phone, crying with my...
Alright, next up is number 18, which is Numa, Worship Project by Skyhook. These guys I've been following for a few years now. They're still fairly not well known, but they really should be. They're really good, and they released their first worship album, which is really good. This one of the few worship albums that I listen to. It's really good. So a couple of my favorites are Sovereign God and the live version of With Everything.
Sovereign God, we are here. We won't leave until your glory fills the air. Sovereign God, darkness tremble in your holy light, that every eye would see Jesus, our God, great and mighty to be praised.
Alright, number 17 on my list is Rise by Skillet. Same thing as Red, the Release the Panic by Red. These guys actually, up until recently, like, I would always say they were my favorite band since like 2007 when I got into music. But unfortunately there's a problem. The songs are all good. I mean, everything, I love this album. I got the deluxe edition with the DVD and everything. The one problem with it that I have is sort of the recording. Unfortunately, it wasn't as good as I was hoping. So it comes in at number 17 of this year. And I'll let you listen to a couple of my favorite songs off the album. Rise, which is the title track, and Circus for a Psycho. Alright, next up is number 16, which is actually a new release for this month of December. Earlier this month, Day of Vengeance came back with a new album called Crutchless, and I believe they said this was going to be their last album. One of their guitarists came in as the new lead vocalist. It has a completely different sound than anything they had done before, but it's really good and it's pretty unique sounding. So a couple of my favorite songs are Beaten Path and Crutchless. Alright, coming in at number 15 is the debut CD on Solid State Records by The Ongoing Concept. These guys are really awesome, and this is a pretty good album, released with a debut track, Cover Girl, with a music video, and that's one of my favorites, and that's one you're going to listen to. And the other song I'll let you listen to is the title track, Saloon. Alright, next up at number 14 is We As Humans' debut signed record, and it's titled We As Human. I've been following these guys for quite a long time, and I'm quite pleased with this record. There was a couple things that it was a little iffy, like they didn't quite go as far with the lyrics as everybody was expecting them to, because their previous work had really, really strong lyrics. But yeah, so a couple of my favorite tracks are Take the Bullets Away, which features former Flyleaf vocalist Lacey Sturm. I was getting it confused with her other last name. So Lacey's in that song, Take the Bullets Away, and Bring to Life.
Help me see the light of one more day. Take the bullets away. Take the bullets away. I tried to build resistance. I tried to start a war. So wash it all away and move it like a storm. The ocean's overflowing now. You bring to life all that is broken. You can turn the
Alright, next up at number 13 for 2013 is a band that aren't well known at all and actually released this album for free on Bandcamp. I'll put a link in the description. They're called Color Me Valiant and released a record earlier this year called SinnerServantSon. It's more of an EP, 5 songs, but man are they good. And so I'll let you listen to a couple of those tracks, Simon Peter and Commissioned. Alright, coming in at number 11 is Fit for a King's debut release on Solid State Records earlier this year. It's called Creation Destruction, And a couple of the songs that I liked: Bitter End and Skin and Bones.
I never thought I'd see the day when I see my maker face to face. Everything I counted for, every bad decision I ever made. Little did I know this all lead up to this, it seems like time. This is my breaking point. Rolling my brain. Just please don't let me be. Run away from me. Is there life beyond the grave? Will I make the same mistakes day after day? There must be a better way.
Alright, coming in at number 11, actually the final release of this video, because I have to split this up. We're going to have the final top 10 in my next video. For the final one here, we got the Prevailer EP by For Today. It's 5 tracks. One is an acoustic version of Fearless, which was on Immortal, their last album. And it actually has like a double side sleeve on it. And it comes with a DVD as well, a documentary, which is really good. Comes in at number 11, and you get to listen to Flesh and Blood and Crown of Thorns. And stay tuned, and I'll see you for the final top 10.
So let me die.